I'm going to be talking about some of the products I use to keep my 3-gallon Betta aquarium clean. If that seems like a lot of stuff just to keep this little 3-gallon aquarium clean, the truth is, it is a lot of stuff. This is something you should be prepared for if you decide to buy one of these starter aquariums. The truth is, these kits used to cost a lot less and bring a lot more. These days, you'll be lucky to get a little bit of water conditioner just to start cycling your water. There are many videos online explaining how to start up a new aquarium. This video is going to concentrate more on the upkeep. What you will need once you have established your aquarium, once your fish are in there, once it's time for your first water change. So I'd say these are going to be the essential things you will need to start doing water changes and keeping your aquarium clean. Starting with something you can use to remove a portion of your tank's water. Now the dirtiest water is going to be down at the substrate or the gravel. So these gravel vacuums are the best tool to use to get out the dirtiest water. Now you may be tempted just to use a jar or a pitcher to remove some of the water from your tank. This is why I recommend you do not do that. Everything you use for your aquarium should be dedicated for aquarium use. One of the most harmful things to fish and new aquariums is things like detergents and soaps and chemicals. Things we use to rinse and wash jars and pitchers like these. Next, you're going to want to have something to clean the inside of your tank, the glass, the ornaments, etc. A lot of algae builds up on the inside of your aquarium and you need to scrub it off. You could use a cheaper non-name brand sponge, but you're going to want to be sure that it's free from chemicals and that it's going to be a dedicated sponge just for your fish tank. Once you're done removing the water you want to remove and cleaning the inside of your tank, you're going to want to condition the new water that you're going to introduce into your aquarium. This is very important because tap water contains a lot of chemicals and heavy metals. Products like these will neutralize those chemicals and make it safe for your fish. Also, you're going to want to remove the dirty cartridge from your tank and put in a new cartridge. Be sure to check your box to see what kind of filter your aquarium needs. This may not be 100% essential, but it's important. This is additional filter media. Media like this offers a place for beneficial bacteria to grow in your aquarium. This bacteria is important to keep your aquarium clean. So you probably already picked up some food. Usually it's this flake food people like to start out with, and that's fine. I got this sample pack and just keep it in a Ziploc bag for freshness. But what I recommend is switching up food once in a while. Nobody likes to eat the same thing every day, and fish are the same. Different foods offer additional stimulation. I love to give them these little pellets. My Betta loves these pellets, but his favorite are the bloodworms. I crush them up a little bit just so it's easier for them to swallow. Depending on what kind of aquarium maintenance you're going to do, you might want to remove your fish from the tank. I don't like to net my Betta, so I've kind of trained him to go back into his little cup whenever I need to remove him. Although I do have a net just in case I need to remove any of the other fish. Always unplug your filter when you're going to perform aquarium maintenance. I've already done this and I've removed the lid. Now I'm going to scrub around the aquarium using my scrub pad. This is brand new, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the labels and give it a good rinse. This is how easy it is to scoop up a Betta without using a net. Just distract them with some food. Grab your little cup and scoop him up from behind. Zero stress for him. Let's get to scrubbing this tank. As you can see, I've placed it in kind of an uncomfortable position, but the angle of this brush is going to help me to clean out this tank. And since it's a new tank, not much algae has formed. I don't see all that much contaminants or dirtiness. So I'm just going to lightly brush around the tank, around the crystals, just to make sure nothing's growing and make sure my aquarium's gonna stay clean. Now, one thing I am missing that's very important is a bucket. I recommend you keep a dedicated bucket for your fish tank equipment. Get it brand new, rinse it out with water, get a lid, and when you're done using your sponge, your vacuum, anything you use for your aquarium, you put it in your bucket and you seal it and never use soap on it. They were out of buckets at the hardware store, so for now I'm just gonna keep everything in this brand new plastic bag. I'll seal it, and as soon as I buy a bucket, I'll transfer everything there. It's up to you how many decorations you want to remove when you do your water change. It's gonna depend on how dirty your tank is, how long it's been since its last water change. In this case, since it's relatively new, a new aquarium, I'm only gonna remove this rock feature because I can really get around all these roots. And since I have plants in the substrate, I'm gonna try to not move the gravel around them not too much. And since I don't have my bucket, this is what I'm using to collect the water that I'm gonna vacuum out. I'm also gonna recycle this water and feed this nutrient-rich water to my plants. So vacuuming is as simple as just putting this side of the vacuum into your aquarium and starting to pump. A steady stream of water will start exiting the hose, and you can concentrate on just vacuuming up as much dirt as possible. I'm gonna do about a 50% water change, so I'm almost done. Once you remove the amount of water you needed, you just remove the hose and it will stop sucking out. I didn't have the chance to show it because it's kind of hard to work the camera and the vacuum at the same time. So now I'm just gonna, oops, there goes some gravel. I'm gonna replace my little rock decoration here. Same place it was. And I'm ready to add new water. Actually, I'm still missing some steps before I introduce my new water. First, I'm gonna remove this dirty filter cartridge. And wow, is this thing dirty. After only about a week and a half. I've already pre-rinsed the new filter cartridge and it slides in just like that. Nice and snug. I'm also gonna go ahead and add that additional filter media I told you about. And this fits perfectly right over here. There I can collect all types of beneficial bacteria that's gonna help keep my aquarium clean. Now I'm ready to prepare my water for aquarium use. Since the instructions say 5 milliliters for every 10 gallons and we're only doing 1 gallon, I'm just gonna add a dash. I'm gonna mix this up nice and good, and it's gonna be ready to put into the new aquarium, which unfortunately I'm not gonna be able to record because I can't do both things with one hand. All right, so the tank's filled up. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it off with a plain paper towel on the outside. Never use any kind of chemicals on your fish tank. If you need to clean it, use maybe vinegar. And there we go. Tank's looking good. Time to reintroduce my Betta. So the water I used sat for about 30 minutes and it was room temperature to begin with. So it's about the same temperature as the aquarium was originally. So I don't need to acclimate my Betta too much. I can just reintroduce him. And there he goes. There's still some stuff floating around. You're never gonna get all of it. That stuff will settle eventually. All right, so everything's put away. Stuff is still settling in the tank, some sediment, but the fish look happy. If you make a mistake, if you do something wrong, you'll see it pretty quick in the body language of the fish. They'll be lethargic. They'll start floating to the top. They might die pretty quick. So you got to be careful, especially like I said with the soaps, detergents, any kind of chemicals. Fish, especially in a small tank like this, are very sensitive to chemicals and to drastic changes. So yeah, you got to be careful. But they look happy. Tank looks great. And you know, I'm pretty sure I made some mistakes or I did some stuff that other people would do differently. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Take care.